Hey y'all, welcome back. This one's going to be a short one because, as you can hear, I don't have much of a voice. The allergens are aplenty here in Kansas, yellow pollen everywhere, all over things. I did just want to take a moment and talk about Mother's Day. So, I have lots of thoughts about Mother's Day. It's so lovely, it's so wonderful to take some time and um, share time and joy and appreciate the people who have raised you, that identify as mother, that are your aunt who was like your mother, or your godmother, or whoever that might be, that falls into for you and that person Mother's Day. And it's so wonderful and so lovely. And I also want to take a moment. I don't know if you all saw my Instagram post, it's still up, to talk about the implications of Mother's Day, and that it's okay to feel multiple things on the day, and it's okay to feel maybe it's not for you. So the example I like to use is, I have a good friend, and I hope she doesn't mind because she listens to this podcast religiously, and her husband passed away right around the same time that All Saints Day was. And I went to church that day and sobbed hysterically and had to leave, and went under, like, to the gymnasium and just sobbed. And so I just don't go to church on All Saints Day. Not that I go to church every week, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I very specifically am like, is it All Saints Day? I'm not going, because that's not the energy that I can do. Um, and so I think that's one where there's like not really, I mean, I guess we should all be grateful for the people who've gone before us. So fair enough. But I think people are able to palate that one a little more, make that one more a little more palatable, let's say. Um, because it's not like, well, you should be grateful that I'm grateful for you. But people feel like they have to do all of these things for the mothers. And I think sometimes we don't ask how a mother wants to be celebrated. And again, I'm using the term mother here for Mother's Day. So whatever your identification is, if you are being celebrated on Mother's Day, or if you're trying to celebrate somebody, whether it's your aunt, sister, whoever it is that fills that role for you, I'm going to use the word mother because we're talking about Mother's Day, um, is to see how they might be. And of course, I want to encourage the mothers out there. And again, the word for Mother's Day. So whatever your identification is, to feel empowered. Here is your permission, like you need it from me, but feel empowered to say what it is that you need. If you don't like breakfast in bed, let that be known. It's okay. Other things can be done. Um, if you don't feel like you can go to church service because they're going to be talking about moms all the time, then say that, and that's okay too. I mean, I don't want to speak for your religion. Perhaps you absolutely have to be with your tush in the pew every Sunday or every day that you go, that's supposed to, and maybe that is your reality. I'd also maybe talk to your spiritual leader about that and say, I really can't sit through it, and see what sort of accommodations can be made, because Mother's Day is so great and wonderful for a lot of people, and there's a lot of loss associated with it, and not just pregnancy loss. I know I talk a lot about perinatal mental health here because that's what I do, and that's my life right now too. Crazy to think that my little one is almost a year old, but I'm still within that window of having an under 1 year old little one. And my son is almost 3, which I don't want to talk about. No, I'm kidding. It's really fun to get to watch him grow. And also I see some stuff on my time hop and I'm like, my baby. But for me, I've had 3 pregnancy losses, and that's really hard. I just sobbed getting ready on Sunday morning. My daughter was asleep, and my husband had taken my son to get me flowers, which, oh my gosh, I'm going to post a picture of the flowers. I'll post that in my feed when this drops. I say next week. Today is a couple of days after Mother's Day, and this will drop the Tuesday following after that. So I'll post the pictures of my flowers. I'm obsessed with them. My son really loves trolls. He recently, that Sunday? Was that Mother's Day morning? Yeah, we watched Trolls World Tour because we hadn't seen it yet, which is funny because I'm dying to have Rachel Bloom on my podcast. She is the voice of Queen Barb. So I felt like that was my signal to reach out to her. I might have to slide into her DMs maybe this week. I don't know. We're going on vacation next week. Maybe I'll wait, but still took it as a sign from the universe. And And so I'll post those flowers, and they're literally my most favorite flowers ever. I've got them drying over here already because they're like this perfect, beautiful amount of openness, and I want to keep them and put them in a vase if you're nasty, on the table over here, and look at them all the time and remember the positive moments from my Sunday. They went and got me flowers and fried chicken, which is lovely. It's a new tradition, I guess, that we're going to start. Obviously, first time, but hopefully they do it every year. And it was really lovely. But I was just sobbing because I was thinking about, and watching is like emotional cutting. I don't know why, but watching the video I was filming when, and trigger warning for pregnancy loss here, but watching the video, I was filming my sonogram when the sonogram technician let me know that she couldn't find a heartbeat for baby B. And I watched it 4 times and was just sobbing. And I thankfully don't have the same footage for my first 2 pregnancy losses, but, or maybe not thankfully, I don't know, but it's okay to feel all of the things on Mother's Day. It's not that I'm ungrateful. I'm so eternally grateful for all of the things we had beautiful professional Mother's Day photos taken. We haven't gotten them back, but I know they're beautiful. I'm putting it out there. She did our same ones last year when I was pregnant with my daughter, and my son had just the week before gotten toilet trained, and God bless him, he did it. He made it through that whole thing and didn't have one little accident. It was great. So that's our other tradition, and I'm so grateful for that, and I love it, and I love the opportunity to celebrate the mothers in my life. But I've had a couple friends even very recently who've had some pregnancy losses, and it's very difficult any time of the year. And then Mother's Day comes up, it's like a punch in the face, or punch in the gut, I don't know, but it's the same thing we've talked about. I've talked about sitting with the tension of many things being able to be possible at once and feeling all of the things at once. And it doesn't make you less grateful if you don't want to go to church, or you don't want to celebrate, or, like, people have lost their mothers or have tense relationships with their mothers. And so before becoming mothers themselves, Mother's Day was a really tough time for them. And now that doesn't magically go away when you pop out a kid. So I want, for the moms out there, I want to validate that you can be sobbing and grateful at the same time, and excited and devastated and feel anguish and joy. And for those of you out there who are not identifying as mothers, so you are not celebrated on the day of the mother, that it doesn't have to be the stereotypical breakfast in bed and all of that. If that's not something that your loved one is into, or maybe you don't know, it's okay to ask and see how they would like to be celebrated. And do they want to go and get a massage by themselves because that's how they want to spend that time? Or do they want to just spend time at the park with their kids? Or it's all of the above. However you can feel the most supported. It's a lot of emotion for a lot of different people. So again, this one's going to be a really short one because I can't imagine that you all are enjoying listening to my voice like this. It's not a super pleasure for me to be talking. Of course, I talk for a living. Bless my clients. Again, this is the 3rd time I think I've lost my voice since I started this podcast. My allergies are so terrible. I feel fine. I just, not to be too gross, but sinus drainage, I guess, just hits these vocal cords. And I do not have that lovely smelly cat, Phoebe Buffet, sexy, sick voice. Smelly cat, smelly cat. No, I'm not going to sing anymore because it's bad. But it's funny because I sing in the car with my kids on the way home from Shula sometimes, and I couldn't sing. I can't sing hardly at all. I can't sing well anyway, but seriously couldn't get hit most of the notes I can't hit. So I'd love to talk about this more. If anybody has questions, feel free to shoot me a DM or an email. I'd love to hear from you on your thoughts on things that have been helpful for you, or ways that you've expressed, or if you have questions on how you'd like to be able to talk to your loved ones about how they want to be celebrated on Mother's Day. This also obviously applies to Father's Day and Grandparents' Day and any other days that have to do with parenting. It's just, it's literally right now as I'm talking, it's 2 days after Mother's Day. And I just really felt, like I said, I was really vulnerable in the moment. I was sobbing and I was kind of starting to come down, and I felt really bad for people who felt that they couldn't express that in some sort of way. I was lucky that my husband had come up, and I was able to let him give me a hug. And I say let him because hugs are really more for him. I don't like to be touched that much. So I've told him, I'm like, when I'm upset and you give me a hug, it's really more for you to help, like, because you feel like you're helping in some way. And sometimes I don't want the hug, and sometimes I do. I know I sound kind of just ungrateful for everything right now. And I also think, let's be honest about how we feel. That's why I wanted to add that in there too. But this time I did. I was like, I want a hug. I want him to be able to give me a hug. It'll help him. It'll help me. And I just was thinking, like, I bet there are people out there right now who are having a lot of emotions on this day, who are lucky enough to have children earthside and also have their own losses in their own ways. Maybe it's not a pregnancy loss or a pregnancy crisis. Maybe it's you've lost your mother. Maybe it's you have a bad relationship with your own mother. I'm not going to list all the things. Let's not re-traumatize ourselves. But whatever your reason is that you might be metaphorically or physically sobbing on the day that's supposed to be the day that you should feel so grateful for everybody being so grateful for all that you do, that it's okay to feel both or many things. And so I thought, I'm going to take a picture of myself. I'm going to post it. I'm going to let people know that they're not alone, that they're validated, that they are seen, and also that it is possible for you to respectfully ask for the things that you need, as it is with everything in life, not just a Parents' Day celebration, and also specifically Mother's Day, Father's Day, Grandparents' Day, whatever it might be. Because, yeah, the complexities of human nature and emotion, right? We can sit with that tension of paradox and understand that you can feel more than one thing at once. So I'm going to stop talking now, maybe try to save my voice for the rest of my day with my clients and supervisees, but I wish you all love and light. I hope that you are able to celebrate each other in ways that are meaningful and helpful, and to you and to each other. Be curious, not judgmental. And also, I know all of you listened to my episode with Ryan last week, and if you haven't, please do, talking about toxic masculinity, but sharing your authentic joy. The more joy that we can get out of life, right? The more joy we can share with others, the more joy we can see from others. Yeah, the more optimistic I am about our future. So, not in a toxic positivity kind of way, but to just, I want you to go out there and share your joy today. Have a good one.